Sorry made, but life to me is way much more. No matter what it seems to be, it's always time to make a change. Sometimes all we need is only one more chance. So try, build a bridge over troubled waters, fly. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more, no more sorrows, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark cold place. No more fear, no more fight. Someone told me long ago that life is just a long road. Sorry babe, but life to me is way much more. No matter what it seems to be, it's always time to make a change. Sometimes all we need is only one more chance. So try, build a bridge over troubled water, fly. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more, no more sorrow, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark cold place. No more fear, no more fight. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more sorrow, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark cold place. No more fear, no more fight. Let the sun on the way shine, shine. Let the sun of the way shine, 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 shine.
Never lose your faith in the brightness of your eyes. Never let the sorrow bring you down. Put a carry smile in your beautiful face. This way is much easier to go. Bright sun will shine. Let Jesus' love warm you up. Live happy your life and never think of giving up. Forget about your problems, enjoy living your life. Open up your heart for love to come inside. Jesus by your side, and with Him close to you, you'll be glad and never become blue. Bright sun will shine. Let Jesus' love warm you up. Live happy your life and never think of giving up. Bright sun will shine. Let Jesus' love warm you up.
good of getting together. It's always good to do the good. I do believe the world can be better, and I know that you believe it too. Papa, Mama, brothers and sisters, let's get ready for a new dawn. This is the time for those big changes we have all been waiting for so long. Listen to this call, the time is right now. Here is the place, so let's move in a faster pace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace. It's always good of getting together. It's always good to do the good. I do believe the world can be better, and I know that you believe it too. Papa, Mama, brothers and sisters, let's get ready for a new dawn. This is the time for those big changes we have all been waiting for so long. Listen to this call, the time is right now. Here is the place, so let's move in a faster pace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace. Listen to this call, the time is right now. Here is the place, so let's move in a faster pace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace.
When life lends a hand, it's time to open up your heart. It is time to love one another. It's time to take part. Vibrate away, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transformed into songs. Our dreams become reality, and we join Jesus for eternity. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality, and we join Jesus for eternity. Source of love that radiates, warm in our power cold nights, support and comfort, support and comfort. love in their hearts, with love in their hearts. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in our Lord. The solution lies in our Lord. Oh, my mother's Ephraim, harvest the wonderful blessings. Make your small son a good Christian. Make your small son a good Christian. Oh, Jesus, here I am, my knees on the floor, to say thank you, my Lord, for the lights that comes through this door. Your love is the key to change the entire world. Using these chains wisely, we will live in peace and harmony. Now I understand, helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see all this transformation, we just have to put love in action.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our public meeting. We thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Before we start, we would like to share a couple of announcements. Our meeting, we ask you to turn off your phone notifications and find a quiet place to stay during this time, if it's possible. Our meeting will have a 30 minutes presentations followed by Q&A. Following the presentation, we will have a spiritual treatment with passes and magnetized water. So we invite you to set aside a container with your water to be magnetized. We have a special invitation for who wants to learn more about Spiritism. On February 5th, we started a free and online course, Get to Know to Spiritism. The second class will be this Saturday, February 26th. If you want to join us, is your last chance to do your registration. And the next class we will start only in the second semester. So the registration link will be posted in the chat. Join us to study and learn more about Spiritism. And we would like to announce that our Tuesday meeting is being retransmitted every Wednesday by Kardec Radio through Facebook. Every Tuesday, the meeting will be a live talk, and you can also watch the same lecture on Wednesday at 8 p.m. East. And we also invite you to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube from Spiritism Canada and the Spiritism group Path of Life. So now I invite you to join me in our opening prayer. So let's close our eyes if we wish and feel comfortable and elevate our thoughts. Master Jesus, we thank you for the opportunity to be here one more Tuesday to study and learn more about Spiritism. Thank you for everything you have done for us, and we ask your protection and your love and mercy. Please inspire us to be a better person every single day in our lives. Please help us to be a better human being and to help our friends and our neighbors. May you bless our friend Denise, who will speak to us tonight, and may we can learn from her. We ask you to stay with us today and always. So be it. The topic of today's meeting is the chapter 4. No one can see the kingdom of God unless they are born again. Items 24 to 26, need for incarnation. And it will be facilitated by our friend Denise from London. Our meeting is being transmitted through Facebook and YouTube, and everyone is welcome to write comments and questions in the chat, and we will address the questions at the end of the talk. And now we invite our tonight's speaker, Denise. Welcome, Denise.
Hi, Marcel. Thank you. Good night, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today, talking a little bit more about Spiritism, about the need of incarnation.
It's a pleasure for us to have you here again. Welcome back.
Yeah, last time was like recorded, so today I'm alive. I'm live. Okay. So today we'll be talking about the need for incarnation through the Spiritist point of view. Next, the need for incarnation. We can list a lot of things that support this need of incarnation. I think the main thing is the law of evolution, the law of justice. So all these two laws, for me, it's the biggest base for the need for incarnation. When we say go through the experience of using their free will, is for sure attached to the law of justice, right? And the law of evolution as well, because every time I make a decision, sometimes I feel like you're in this huge buffet where you go, you can choose all the food, but the moment that you choose, there is 3 different rices and you choose one, makes no sense that you're going to put all the types of rice in your plate. You choose, and we know the choices, you are like not having the possibility to try the other ones in that moment. So this need for incarnation, this need for evolution is like the way you can go back to that place where we can choose again. And with our previous experience, we can use our free will in a better manner, right? Develop intelligence, also the same thing. Our tries and errors, they stay in our database, right? They are here with us. And it's not that we don't have the perfect memory from a past life, that we are going to delete everything. Our immortal spirit, the traumas and the experiences that we go through, they stay within us. So it's very important that through the incarnation, we we are in that evolution mode where we know that in order to evolve, that requires that we need to acquire new habits. We need to be working towards this, and that's how this develop of intelligence works, right? We need to be looking forward and, okay, if I did a mistake, how can I do better next time? Sometimes we cannot just stand up and move on right away. We need time to digest, understand better. But that's how these laws of evolution justice works, right? When we feel we were unfair to someone, or if we feel like someone was unfair to us, we need to understand, because in the end, the only thing that we have control, it's us, it's ourselves, is how we react to things, right? Also, a very important point is to accomplish, with the help of physical action, the designs whose execution God has entrusted to us. So, all of us, in our different experiences, right? We are still, in essence, this creation of God that we will evolve towards a spirit of light. So, even though each one has a different experience, we all come from the same essence as a creation of God. Next, free will is something that we talk so much, and sometimes that involves a lot of debate, because for sure, if we think in our life isolated, I cannot compare based on the education that I had, the opportunities that I have, the choices that I made with someone that didn't have the same opportunities, that didn't have access to the same level of education. So if you really thought in life being just one life, you're born, you die, and that's it, this law of justice gets completely incoherent, because how can we justify someone have opportunities, someone not, right? So this free will also comes with that, because it's consequences. It's like each life we come with different opportunities, with different challenges, that in the Spiritist point of view, anytime you had your reincarnation plan and you come to birth, and during that incarnation you decide that you don't want to face that challenge, you have relationships that you need to rebuild and you decide that you don't want to, or you decide to cut your life short, you decide that so let's live once, and use that as an excuse to do bad decisions and just think about material experiences, physical experiences. We are putting ourselves in a position where next incarnation is going to be harder. Why? Because if the level of the lesson comes and we feel didn't push us enough for us to move into this evolution process, next time is going to be harder, 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 until we move towards the path you need to go. So it's very important for us as spiritists also to think about that, think about the choices we make in the relationships that sometimes we try to push and say, no, I will try to deal with that later. If that situations come to you at certain moments, and I know life could be overwhelming. Sometimes it's not like you can choose, oh, today I'm going just to deal with my anxiety. Tomorrow or a month from now, then I'm going to deal with my depression. And that, no, everything happens together. These feelings, they are like completely interrelated with everything we feel in our days, right? It's very hard to not be to say, oh, I just feel these. They are not isolated. Everything is together, right? So it's very important, and that's why when you think about the free will, we also think about this statement: those who made bad use of it delay their advancement, and at that point, an incarnation can feel like a punishment. So it's this fact. But if you think it's hard now, if you decide to, I'm not going to deal with this, I'm going to back away, I'm not going to fulfill my responsibilities, next time it's going to be even harder. So if you think it's bad now, I think ideally is deep breath, regroup, and try to keep moving, right? To keep trying the best we can. It's not that we're going to be perfect. It's not that we're going to reach, oh, in this lesson, I should be able to learn this, and that. Sometimes you just learn one, but at least you tried. I think the ability to try to put yourself in a situation that you don't give up, it's very important. And also to ask for help, also to look for people. If you feel you are like, you are not able to do it alone, ask for help, but don't give up. Try to ask for help. Try to, because most, and they can, based on all the books we read, based on the histories of our brothers and sisters, so many lessons that we can learn through them, 99% of the case, if you decide to ask for help, the help will be there for you. So it's very important that we have that in our minds. We don't need to go through that alone, completely alone. We can look to our side and try to hold the hands of the people that love us, of the people that we admire. Sometimes could be even someone that you don't have a deep relationship, that could bring wise words that could open your eyes and make you feel more confident to deal with problems that you are having in your life. Also, it's very important to think that those who use the free will carefully, quickly and less painfully clear the incarnation pathway. So it's basically this, it's really trying your best, it's really put yourself in a situation that I really tried, and not try to find excuses why not to do it, and really try to do it. Next slide. Reincarnation, the same words. So we in the evolution law, we know that we have the planet, and each planet is going to be in a different evolution process. And when you think about Earth right now, we are a planet that is in the process transferring from a planet of expiation to a planet of regeneration. And this is a collective effort of Earth. So we know that there are a lot of spirits reincarnated on Earth right now. That is their last opportunity to be on Earth. That if they keep in their evolutionary stage that they are right now, if they don't progress, next time they'll not be coming back here, because Earth is going to be a place where more evolved spirits will start to reincarnate. So these spirits will be redirected to a planet that is also in the same stage that they are, right? So when we think about the reincarnation, the same word and this collective effort that all of us needs to be facing together, right? If we think like there are a lot of problems that are individual, but there are collective problems that we need to face as a world. We just hope us, fingers crossed, that finish this pandemic. The worst, I hope, is behind us. But we faced 2 years where the whole world was in fear, was having to deal with it. Of course, it's a storm where each one of us was in a different boat, but it is still something that everyone had to face, different levels, but we still had to face it, right? So the purposes of this collective challenge, most of the time, is to strengthen the principles of solidarity, fraternity, and equality. In these moments, sometimes we are so inwards, looking to ourselves, sometimes just our family, just the people we love. And when something like that happens, we start to look around and like, in order to protect the ones I love, I need to also be attentive to what is happening around me. So if I decide to abide by health measurements to avoid the spread of a virus. I'm taking care of myself, but I'm also showing respect and taking care of the others, right? Also, it's very important regarding the establishment of family ties on a spiritual basis. So these relationships is going to be even more strong. And there's a lot of friends of mine that really, through pandemic, shift to home work and had time to spend more time with their kids, with their family. A lot of people related that I never spent so much time with my family because I had to commute to work. I have to leave home like 7 a.m. and just come back like 7, 8 p.m. And once I had to shift and work from home, I was with them all the time. It was like, I was like, oh, they like, I felt that a lot of people look into this positive aspect of reconnect. At the same time, other people that were like using this as a way to escape when they had to be together was the moment that they had to reanalyze the relationships, and also was a stress, and a lot of relationships end up uh, finishing, getting apart because of this extra stress of being together all the time. But it's part of this evolutionary process of this thing that the whole planet going together, right? And also it's very important is a chance to repair mutual offenses. So in the moment that I'm trying to connect myself and try to understand the others and what is happening around me, what is happening on the world. One of the things that we talked so much in this pandemic was you cannot just think about yourself. It's not only, oh, you live in a developed country that is going to have vaccines for everybody. If we don't offer help to other places that don't have the same resources, we are going to end up still have, and that was something that happens, right? We have so many variants coming since the beginning of the pandemic because a lot of places that were not abiding by all these health measurements to avoid the spread of the virus end up contributing for the creation of these variants. So I think it's also a chance to look to the other and try to build this bridge, right? Because it's not about I'm right, you are wrong. It's about to understand the other, try to bring uh, this connection really, and make them uh, connect and understand them as well, right? We cannot force anybody to do anything. So it's a matter of being able to connect and really try to repair instead of grow apart. So people are not getting the lesson as we expect. They are using this as an excuse to fight even more, but we need to look into ourselves and always, instead of just critique the ones that are sometimes creating a problem, but try to make ourselves think as how can we make bridges in order to repair these problems. Next slide. Yeah, what is the purpose of incarnations of children who die very young? And that goes back to the law of justice, right? We need to understand that this is not the beginning of our journey. We are immortal spirits. We have relationships from previous lives. And when we start a new incarnation, we never know what could. Sometimes, if we're evolved enough, we're going to be part of our planning. So most of the time, we can say that we were part of that planning. It's spirits that are really, really rebel that come and do what they call involuntary reincarnation. But it's very important for us to think about this law of justice and believe in the love of God, because I think if there is one thing that my atheist friends claims a lot is exactly that: how God exists if a kid is suffering, if a kid born with a disease, or if a couple that really wants to have kids can't have, and some people that don't want to have kids and raise them in a completely careless way, right? So it's important for us to have this sense of love, justice, and the love of God above all. The things we could also say is a traffic special for the parents. for sure that spirit that is discarnating, it's also part of that, but the parents are going through it. We know that it's very common to have miscarriages in the first pregnancies. So it's something that really is common. So it's an experience that a lot of people go through. I had a miscarriage myself, and it's very painful. But we know that there is no chance, and everything happens for a reason. And also, it's important to to see this as a reminder of a former life that had been cut short before its due term. So if we remember, there are so many of the André Luiz books, right, that talks about these, the spirits trying to reincarnate, and sometimes the spirits could get afraid. The parents also not right to receive. So there is a lot of things, but above all is the law of justice. Next. What are the limits of incarnation? And it's very important for us to think an incarnation does not have precisely traced limits. When we think that is, as I mentioned, we could be part of a reincarnation plan, but that doesn't mean that because I thought that I could achieve 3 goals, that I can achieve in a life more goals. We know it's hard. It's more common that we're not going to achieve all the goals, but it's important that we can say that this is all part of our free will as well. I think that depending on your path, depending how you are evolving, you can try your best to do not only the things you're planning to do, but sometimes the extra, right? Go the extra mile. Try to go even more. So sometimes we feel so fortunate, we feel so grateful. So how can we retribute all the blessings we receive? It's being kind, it's working towards the other, right? So these limits that sometimes we put to ourselves is really this comfort zone. Even when we try, we say, oh, I'm growing. Sometimes we just create a little boundary around our comfort zone. We put our feet out there and we think, okay, oh, I did that. So yeah, it's good enough. And we try to go back. Instead of that, sometimes we need to put our feet out there. Hey, I was able to come here. Why don't look forward? Why don't try a little bit more? So I really believe in this, right? It's not because we have these goals that we cannot achieve more. At the same time, we need to understand that it's one step at a time. We cannot run before we walk. So it's really trying to find this balance. Next slide. The evolution of the inventory of the spirit. So when you think about evolution, right, and the reincarnation, and even, as I mentioned, the planets that evolve, right, the spirits that are in these planets, the way that they present themselves also evolves. So when you think about this evolution, we have the body and we have the perispirit. So the materiality of this envelope diminishes and the spirit purifies itself. So we know that we still have this thick skin that we have right now. We are still grounded under these physical experiences, but while we are start to evolve, the need of the body starts to be less and less important because we are going to sublime this need. We are going to be able to live the new experiences in a different manner. The next slide. So the evolution of the physical body. So if we think from the body that we have right now, even if we think evolutionary speaking, how our bodies start to evolve, right? Everything, like the way that we used to walk, the way that we used to have our relationships in the beginning of our planet Earth, when it was still a primitive planet, to what we have right now, is quite a big step. But it's not even close to the spirits of light that we will be millions and millions of years from now, probably a long path to go. So the aspects that we are going to see changes is the less coarse. It's going to be lighter. It's going to be compact, almost fluidic, and ends up melting with the perispirit. So the need of this body is going to be less and less important. And I think it's very interesting to talk about the evolution of the body. When you think about the society that we have right now, there is going to be shift accepting better people that don't identify with the gender they're born with. We're still very defined by male and female, but we can see with this that that's not what defines us. Sometimes we let all these things about, okay, worry, oh, I'm a girl or I'm a boy, or that's how you should behave, when it's completely not what should define you. Your heart, your experiences, and your feelings are the things that should guide you. So it's very important for us to think that, I think all the discussions we're having right now about society as a whole accepting more, understanding more, is very important, and it's also part of this transition that Earth is going through. Next one. The evolution of the perispirit. So the same way the body one day will melt with the perispirit will become more and more etherealized as it advances in its purification. So the parts, the body, the perispirit, and the spirit, they are going to combine. First the body with the perispirit, until this perispirit will be able to advance and become more and more pure. And of course, is everything also connected to our choice, to our free will, to our evolution. So this is what defines the inventory that we have in ourselves. Next one. Incarnation from the material point of view, as ours on Earth, right? Depends on the spirit to free itself faster or slower by working for its purification, and is limited to less evolved worlds. Next one. Reincarnation is an act of divine mercy in our benefit. It enables us to repair old faults and to advance spiritually. Therefore, every day, every moment of our life must be an occasion to do good, to practice charity, to learn and to help our neighbor, so that we do not miss the opportunity to progress. So, as mentioned before, we have opportunities to progress. The more and more we decided not to, the harder the lesson will come. Next one. Reincarnation is a natural law, therefore divine, which we are subject to by the mercy of God for the purpose of spiritual progress and attaining supreme happiness. Is, as mentioned before, right? Is everything is connected to the laws of God. In ourselves, we have that seed of mustard that connects us to Him. This faith that we need to feed, that we need to connect, and this relationship is the most important relationship that we have in our lives, right? It's very important that we could think about how is my relationship with God. Sometimes we, in our incarnations, we have so many lessons that come, the relationships we have with our family member, our friends, our peers, the people that come into our life. And sometimes we forget that we also have this direct relationship with God, that this reincarnation is part of His love for us. So sometimes it's really to look into the hardening that's coming in our life and really try to make our talks to Him. I like sometimes just to stop and talk to Him, try to talk to Him. I know sometimes we think, oh, but He knows everything is in my heart. He knows everything I thought. But sometimes when you verbalize, that helps you in this connection, helps you to strength, helps you really to open your different eyes to understand how big is His love for each one of us, right? Sometimes we feel lonely, and we really should not feed these thoughts. It's all the thoughts that we have, and we should feed the thoughts, the positive ones, the ones that are inspired by so many great spirits that are already incarnated on earth. We have Jesus that came here with so many special lessons for all of us. And I think anytime I feel that I'm too desolate sometimes. I don't feel I'm that positive. If you go and you see, look what Jesus went through. Look, the time that we incarnate on earth was a time very, very challenged. Like he came and he was trying to be as kind as he could, and he was judging in the worst way possible. What we have right now, most of the time, is not even close at all to everything he went through. So it's very important that we could remind us of that, right? And that the purpose of the spiritual progress is what will bring the happiness. And these concepts that sometimes society tries to put into us, that happiness is completely uh, uh, connected to these material experiences, right? Is not the truth. And that's why to remind ourselves of this love and this connection with God, this is the real happiness. This is the real thing that will bring you to your evolution path. Next slide. In order to attain this goal of liberation from incarnations in lower worlds, we can, in the persevering effort to improve ourselves, to experience the lessons of Jesus, to be happier or at least less unhappy right now. Besides, we will be preparing for ourselves also a happier place for us to go after our discarnation, where we'll feel freer, more enlightened, and with a peaceful conscience. This liberation, this incarnation, it's important, but we also need to understand the level we are right now. Some people believe like that to get rid of the body is going to be uh, the chains, the broke the chains to this new level, when actually we know after you discarnate you're going to be the same person. So you need to work while you're still in this body. You need to understand that the lessons that comes through it are very valuable. The time that we spend discarnate is a lot longer than the time that we experience incarnate. We know that we're going sometimes to be discarnate for hundreds of years before we have another opportunity. So that's why during our incarnation it's so important to make each day count. Next one. Jesus, the most evolved spirit who ever lived on earth, came out of love for his brothers and sisters to demonstrate the divine laws and to show the root of his way through his teachings and examples of life. He is our Savior because he has come to teach us that we will one day be like him, freed from ignorance and evil, from the need to live in inferior worlds if we follow his lessons, however difficult they may be. So we look to Jesus, we know he came here, he opened the roads for us. We have highways that we can walk through because of the teachings he came. But I understand it's also very hard for us to compare ourselves to him because he is really the goal. He's really the governor on earth. He's like the most evolved spirit that ever came here. So sometimes it's important that we look to other brothers and sisters that we feel it's still in, they are evolved, but we feel that they went to path that we recognize as similar to what we went through. Jesus did that. When he came here, he went through hardships that all of us face, right? He was betrayed. He was unfair, judged. He went through all the hardships we went, but he was Jesus. So we believe that because he is such an evolved spirit, that didn't bother him, but he suffered. He suffered for sure. But we know his evolution level was something that we couldn't comprehend at this time, and even 2,000 years ago, after that, we are still we still look to his teachers and we say, oh my gosh, I still don't understand it fully, what he teaches, right? So sometimes we have other spirits that we can also look through. And I think Spiritism is this amazing thing because we have so many material out there. We are not defined by just one book or just the Kardec books. We have so many other materials that we can read and that could inspire us. So sometimes if you feel it's hard because Jesus is too lighted, it's too evolved, and you feel I'll never be like him, Go to the other brothers and sisters that left a lesson for us, that they evolved a little bit in each life before they got in a better place. I think it's really important that we also could make these connections that could really help to bring the stamina we need to keep moving forward. Next one. This is how divine justice works, not punishing, not rewarding, but giving us all the opportunities for development. And this sentence for me, the most important is this. When you think about this divine justice, we are part of it. So, in the moment that things happen to us, and we decided that we are the ones judging the ones that did something wrong to us, instead of looking ourselves and try to face, like, okay, I'm going through it, what can I do? Sometimes we point our fingers, we blame the others, and we don't do what we need to do. I'm not saying that you should be feeding toxic relationships. Sometimes people come in our lives and they need to go, and that is fine. But we cannot just use that as an excuse to be judging others and pointing and not let them go. Let them go and look towards in yourself. Go into this inner place and in your evolution, not thinking about the other should suffer, the other should punish because he did this and that. But what can I do to not do this to other people? And what can I do to not be feeling like I'm the victim in this situation? You are the own author of your history, right? So you are the one that is to write what you think is the best path for you. Next one. The conditions to conquer our own progress, because each one of us, we always receiving according to our own works, always learning and developing, helping one another, and everyone benefiting from it. Is this, is instead of throwing stones, put your hand out there. Even if it's sometimes it's hard, but if you are not able to do it, sometimes talk to someone and say, okay, I'm not able to help that person. I'm still not in that place, but can you please help? Or try find out someone to help her. Because I think that if we don't believe this is a collective effort, it's going to be more and more hard. There's that African thing that say you can go alone, you go faster, but together you go far, far away. You go far long than if you're alone. So it's something that we should and we need to keep in ourselves. And that's why when we have these relationships, the most challenged ones are the ones we should look with more kindness, especially as Spiritism. We have so much knowledge, we have so much things that we can learn from. If we don't push ourselves with everything that we know in this life, and probably this is the first life that we know that much, right? Probably my last life, I wasn't a spiritist. I wasn't probably connected to everything that we have right now. So that we could look the fact that in this incarnation we are able to learn about spiritism, to have this knowledge, to have access with internet, like all the books, everything that we have access. We are the ones that should be feeding ourselves what we think it's strong and it's good. So that's the only way this relationship with God is going to be stronger, and that's what is giving us the strength to face these problems and to make the good choice that we will end up in our evolution. So I think this is next slide. So next slide. Thank you. So it's open for questions, I think. Marcel is back.
Thank you so much, Denise. What a great talk. A lot of things to thinking about, and I have learned a lot from you today. Thank you so much. And we have some questions. The first one is Publio. He is asking, as you said, to be incarnated now is a great opportunity to grow as immortal spirit.
Yeah, I think that right now is this consciousness, right? Is to bring ourselves as this conscious that we are this immortal thing. We cannot look into ourselves as a segment, like, oh, is this life and that's it. We need to understand the challenges could come from previous life, but we need to be in this constant work of, it's not only about what I'm going to do and get reward in this life, but what can I build and do best for my next challenges, incarnate or discarnate, right? That we bring ourselves into this God conscious of His creation. That's part of it. We need to be doing ourselves the best we can, at least that, because I think it's that feeling when you go to sleep and you are very tired, but you have the feeling I did everything I had to do. I'm not just postponing things. And especially, I think we are in a generation right now with so many devices, it's so many things to
Distractions.
distract us, right? So
Distractions, yeah.
we don't have to be looking into ourselves to not be shy. If you want, like, so many streaming, so many things that we can, like video games,
Yeah.
YouTube. It's like so much content that you can just numb yourself if you want. You can just numb yourself, don't deal with your things, just be like absorbing other people things, other people thoughts, judging others for the comfort of your living room, but you are postponing because you still need to look into yourself. When you're trying to distract yourself and not work on you are disconnecting yourself from this immortal spirit. You're trying to put a break. I just want to rest. Well, of course, you can have your leisure days where, okay, today is going to be vacation. I don't want to do nothing, but you cannot make that like your modus operandi. Like,
Mhm.
oh, that's how I'm going to do. I work, I watch my TV shows, and that's it. You need to be
Yeah,
doing
to do
more.
something, right?
Yeah,
Especially
to make
us.
your life like what is my legacy? I don't know. What I did good? Because when you build this and you put yourself out there trying to build these things, you are like you have this energy coming back to you. You feel that you have more energy. You feel
Mhm.
that you can put more into that. So
Yeah,
I think it's that
especially us
disconnection.
as a spiritist that we have the knowledge, right? So,
Yeah. So the judgment is completely different, right?
mhm. Yeah. Another question. I am asking if there is a purpose of each reincarnation, how to explain people who reincarnate with disabilities.
Yeah, for me, it's the same as I mentioned before. It's the law of justice, right? We know that sometimes what we say as a disability actually is give you an advance step
Mm-hmm.
to not do the same mistake in that life. It's
Yeah.
really a way to say, okay, this mistake you're not going to do in this life.
Mm-hmm.
We are trying to help you here for you not to make mistakes in this life. And one thing that you see with people with disabilities is that they don't, like, the ones that are able to understand and accept their bodies the way they are, they don't feel they're lacking and they're running behind us. They really do. You see so many motivational speakers that has disabilities, and their histories are amazing. They really believe in themselves. They really reach their full potential. They don't let the fact that this body doesn't have all the functions they're supposed to have
Mm-hmm.
to limit themselves as individuals. And it's also part and connects with the part that we thought about body and perispirit and evolution, because one, they're not going to have the body as the way it is going to be free of this heavy body. So it's also something that could make us think,
Mm-hmm.
because it makes our even there are studies that shows that when you have certain disabilities, the way that the wires in your brain works is different. It's not the same way. It's a different.
Thank you so much, Denise, for your explanation. Your talk was really good, and it is a pleasure to have you here. You are will be always welcome to come back, and it's gonna be a pleasure to stay with you here. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you all for being here. I hope I I give some new thoughts. I know I talk a lot, so
You did. It was wonderful. Thank you. Right. So now we will move to the preparation for tonight's spiritual treatment. And pass is the transfusion of spiritual energy with the goal of assisting with our physical, mental, and emotional balance. Passes help us to restore a state of harmony and peace by replacing negative energy with healthy, positive energy. In order to receive the best benefits from passes, please follow the audio instructions or remain in prayer. You may close your eyes to help with mentalization. During the pass, the water you set aside will absorb the spiritual energy that you and your family can benefit from. We will now make a prayer in preparation for the pass, and it will be our final prayer too. Okay, so once again, let's close our eyes and thank you, Master Jesus, for your mercy, for all the learnings we had tonight. We ask you and the good spirits to help us to absorb all the blessings of this spiritual treatment. May this treatment help us to feel better than we when we started. We ask you your blessing for this week and our sleep. Please help us, our family, our friends, and all the humanity, teaching and inspiring us to think and act with love and charity. In the certainty that you are with us today and tomorrow and always. We thank you for everything and we ask to stay with us every single day of our lives. So be it.
Let us now prepare ourselves for the moment of the passes and the magnetization of water. Let's now calm our hearts, breathing in and out. Pay attention to your body. Focus on your breath and let yourself be carried by this energy. Let your thoughts pass by without judging them. Let them flow. Allow this light to be the beacon that guides you, and allow these words to penetrate your energy. Make each word an anchor of gratitude, faith, and trust. With the purpose of healing, which takes away my faith, healing every feeling of separation, of pain, let it all dissolve in this moment, leaving only love, gratitude, and trust. We ask God for the presence of our guardian angel and the friendly spirits who welcome us into this enlightened environment of our Spiritist Center. We open our plexus of love and forgiveness by mentalizing a light surrounding our hearts. Find a quiet and comfortable place to begin the mentalization process. Remove all worries from your thoughts. We ask that during the pass you breathe slowly and deeply. Let your body relax and surrender yourself to a deep meditation. Calmly imagine divine energies in soft and colorful light surrounding you in an environment of peace and spiritual warmth. Entrusting God with your most intimate desires, raise your thoughts to Jesus and the emissaries of the spiritual environment. The pass begins with the cleansing of your soul. Imagine a waterfall of crystal clear water pouring over us, removing all the feelings that keep you away from faith and trust. Feel the energy of this water bathing you and deeply breathe in, feeling peace and harmony. Allow this water to wash away all the impurities and spiritual larvae, washing away all the sorrows and resentments, any feelings of hatred and revenge that hold us back and cause us harm, not only from this life, but past ones as well. Now visualize spiritual doctors around you, applying magnetic cleansing passes, sanitizing your spiritual body of all sadness and negative energy. Mentalize these negative thoughts and feelings being washed away, evaporating from your soul, like water evaporating into thin air, and being carried far away from your mind. Surround yourself with the faith that bathes your being, bringing clarity and lucidity, rebalancing every cell in your body. May the water envelop all pain and bring the clarity of opportunity that chooses peace. The answer arises in our hearts, freeing us from all evil and freeing all whom we have caused evil into and who have caused us evil. Washing away all the connections that bind us. Even though we may not understand, we are freeing ourselves from all that causes us harm. Feel this cleansing penetrate your soul and release. Now that we are spiritually cleansed, imagine yourself surrounded by the light of love from the hands of Jesus. At this moment, sing words of faith and gratitude, being faithful to the light that exists in me, planted by the zealous Father. Imagine the sunlight that surrounds and enraptures, freeing us from the chains of everything that holds us down, strengthening your faith. Allow yourself to trust in this light, surrender to it, involved in pleasant feelings and feeling relieved to receive the strengthening lights. Mentalize your spiritual mentors now applying divine light for the strengthening of your mind and your emotions, leaving you feeling emotionally revitalized. Let us now mentalize the magnetization of this water. May we mentalize all the friendly spirits, magnetizing this water and filling it with everything that our bodies, minds, and soul need, so that it may be of help to us when we drink it after the Pass. Thank you, God.
I would like to thank you for joining us tonight. And just remember, we will be back next Tuesday here on Spiritism Canada and Continental Conference Americas at 8:30 p.m. East, and next Wednesday on Kardec Radio at 8 p.m. East. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.
Sometimes it's not so easy. Sometimes it's not so close. Sometimes we build our dreams, but then we see them decompose. When you feel down the dumps, feeling sad and blue, give life a chance, my friend, the sun will shine again on you. Believe you can come through. The rainy days are true. Have little faith in you. sorrow you can dream all your dreams again. Though some sorrow remains, it doesn't mean the end. Believe you can come through. The rainy days are true. Sometimes okay to feel blue. Have little faith in you. Dream all the dreams again. Though some sorrow remains, your dreams can get you through. Have little faith